ladies, this is Linda, Face Chick 777, and today I'm coming at you with a Valentine card that I wanted to show you. It's a Shabby Chic Valentine card, and I especially kind of wanted to show this one to you because I've done a couple of things with the die cuts with a view fabric paper stack. So let me get my sign out of the way so we can get started. Okay, and you all know I'm using this pink paper stack, and you all know, the die cuts with the view fabric paper stack. It's adhesive, so I had a couple of things I wanted to show you on that I worked with on my card. And then the other paper I use, also die cuts with a view, is the Preppy Princess stack. Boy, say that 10 times fast. Preppy Princess stack. That's it. I'm only going to say it twice. Okay, and this is the card I wanted to show you, coming at you right here. It's a shabby chic kind of card. Now this is the wrap. I made a wrap, and then the card is on the inside. And let me show you what I've done. Obviously, I used, the wrap itself is like 3 layers. It's got this bottom layer here, and I distressed everything. Inked all the edges. I distressed everything with the Tim Holtz distressor, inked all the edges, and then I have my sewing machine out kind of right beside me, so I also sewed all the edges to make it look more of kind of a shabby chic card. Okay, I used lace here, as you can see. I tucked a couple of little fabric flowers in here because I just thought they added to the softness of the card itself. Let me bring it down here. And then this is just the Allie Edwards stamps. You are my most favorite. And it actually said memory down here. You are my most favorite memory, but I cut the memory off. So, I can use it anytime I want. Of course, add it back to the stamp on the stamping block. But anyway, you are my most favorite memory, Allie Edwards stamp on Technique Tuesday. And here is where the fabric comes in, is the pleating right here. This line right here, all pleated on the fabric. So there's kind of one spot where I used the fabric. And then I'm going to turn this sideways. Gonna pull out my little roses. And if you didn't want to use roses and just leave it like that, if you didn't want to tuck flowers in there, that's just as pretty. You could even hang just like a little charm from here. You can do anything you want on that. So I'm just gonna slide this off. And then it opens up. It's just a little tri-fold like this. It opens up. I'm going to slip that out. So here's the outer piece. Again, ruffled, pleated actually, fabric. And then here comes my card. Now again, same thing I did here. Distressed all the edges, inked them all, did the sewing. Here again is another piece of the fabric stack. I pleated it again right here. Okay, and then the other thing I did, as you can see, is I made like a poofy pillow right here. So that's kind of a fun thing. And then I sewed around it to give it a little bit of a vintage look, of course. Added some lace right here that matches the lace on the front of the card wrap. A little bit of lace here. And then another stamp here, All My Love. And this is a Heidi Swap stamp. It's an old stamp out of my stash, old collection, a couple years ago, but I just loved the wording on there. And then the inside is just blank card where I can write my sentiments. So that's my card for you. So pleated and a little poof. Okay, so what now I want to do is show you a small tutorial on some of this work with the fabric, in case you haven't worked with this fabric before, you're new to scrapbooking. Real simple to get both of these looks. I know, I just love this card. I love the softness of the little poof. I want to say that again, poof. Okay, I'm done. I'm done being silly. So let's talk about the pleating. Okay, the pleating on the side. Real easy. I eyeballed everything. I didn't, get real technical with it. So what I've got here, let me grab my little stack here. So what I did is I cut 2 strips, and you'll cut as many strips depending on the length, and I believe this strip is about, everyone's going to be different. It's 1.5 inches wide. Okay, so peel off your backing. Now the fun thing about this fabric stack is this is super thin. It's already sticky for you, obviously. It's adhesive, but the fun part is trying to get it to stick to itself without it like bunching all up and getting it smooth. So what I do is I just fold it in half the long ways, You got to work really quick and try not to get wrinkles in it because it is so thin and flimsy. Thin and flimsy. So there we are, folded in half. And then to start my pleat, basically, just bring it up here like this. There's one pleat. Now a glue gun, I like to glue inside here. Okay, like this. And then you do have to glue the other side. Otherwise you're, you're going to hang out all on one side. So there's the start of the pleat. And then I just kind of eyeball it. However wide I want my pleats to go, just bring it up. There, I'll go about that wide. There's my pleat. A little glue in there. Turn it over, flip it, glue it on the back. There we go. Wait one more. I'm going to come down just a little bit, pleating it. Glue it, flip it over on the back. Let me get my glue stick in here. Glue it, and there we go. We're pleating along. Now obviously it's going to be a lot neater than what I'm doing here, but there's your pleats. And basically then I'll use my paper here. Basically there's your pleats. You tuck, the raw edge is what you want to get hidden. Tuck it out under. Now this is obviously going to be upside down, but see, there's your pleats. Just real easy, real quick. Gluing, folding and gluing one side to the next. Here we go again. See, gluing, folding, gluing, flipping it over, and glue. And then you just tuck it under the piece you want, and you've got your pleats. Real easy. So there's that. Now say you want to pleat something large. Like I took this piece of cardstock, did a little, scallop square punch out of it. You can do the same technique as this, only you want to make your fabric, as wide as your punch or your die cut out or whatever. Same technique, pleating it, folding and pleating and gluing, and then tuck it behind, and now you've got pleats. Pleats right behind it. This would look really cute as like a heart shape or a scallop circle, something like that. Now you've just pleated behind it as a design on your card. Now say you want to pleat, but you want to use different colors. Okay, oops, sorry girls, my camera there. I've got a few started here. So again, you got like your punch cut out, and then what you do is cut your pieces into strips. Okay, you take each strip and you fold it in half. You want to obviously make your strips wider than your cut. Okay, these aren't going to be nice and neat. I apologize because I'm trying to go quick here just to give you a little gist. There's 3 things I want to show you here. Okay, I'll do one more piece. Wider than your cutout, fold it in half, sticky side together obviously. And then you can see where I've started on the back side. So my next spot's going to be a pink. So I'm just going to glue right here. I'm going to layer right over the top. Layering right over the top of it, just a little bit up, right at the very tip top. I'm going to come along, I'm going to glue on this side. And obviously it's a little bit longer. Okay, there, look it, I'm adding my pleats. I'm going to go one more. I'm going to alternate my colors. You can do 2 colors, 3 colors, 4 colors if you want, if you've got a great big pattern to work with. Look real pretty with the several colors. You can put them in a V shape, a straight shape, a diagonal shape. Doesn't matter. Get real imaginative with it. That's what's kind of fun about all this stuff. Okay. Here we go. Of course, flip over the ugly side, and there we are. Now we've got different patterns, and we're pleated. Okay? So fun look right there. Now what I'm going to show you is, back to my card, I'm going to show you this little puffy heart. Now you don't have to sew around any of, this like puffy heart or anything like that. Obviously I did because that's the look I wanted to achieve, but in order to do this, you don't have to sew, ladies. You can do it all with your glue gun. So, let me show you what I've got here. What I've done is you've got 2 pieces, however you're going to do your card. You've kind of got a plain back side. And then you've got, I'm again just going to use this shape, this square scallop shape, okay? And then what you're going to do is you want 2 pieces of fabric, roughly the same size, okay? A little bit larger, pretty much I'd say at least a good 1/2 inch larger than your die cut, okay? What you're going to do first thing is you're going to take your back, you're going to take, you're going to kind of glue the right side down on your fabric to the back piece of your full plain, you know, cardstock. You're going to glue that down. I know it's funny that I'm gluing the wrong side down, or the right side down, okay? But that's what we want, because I'm going to peel that off. We want the sticky, okay? We want the sticky up. This is just your facing. We're going to create basically a pillow, okay? And then I'm going to bring in, I've got some stuffing over here, and I just use the stuffing that's already, you know, broken up, okay? And I just create a nice little ball, okay? And then I'm just going to kind of, I know how big that my die cut is, so I'm eyeballing this. But I'll show you another method if you don't know. I just know, you know, quite how big you want to work with. I just puff it into a little ball, and this is our sticky, right? So I'm just going to stick it right in the center on our little ball right here. So I've got all my stuffing right in the center of that sticky. Then I'm going to take my other piece of fabric, sticky, and I'm going to start to create a pillow with it, okay? So I'm going to come down, and I'm going to go match all the edges up, seam to seam. Now it's probably not going to look pretty. And while you're doing this, you want to be tucking all your fabric, or all your stuffing underneath your piece of fabric. Okay, and stuffing it in there. And you're going to have to pull tight and pull your fabric right over it, because we want it to poof. Come in on the side and push your stuffing in right here, just like that. Same thing on the other side. Now look at that. We've got a nice poof, right? Okay. And then you're going to take your piece that's your cutout. Let me turn it to the right pretty texture side. And you're going to start gluing. Now the thing about this, when you start gluing, you want to make sure that your hot glue, I would use, definitely, your hot glue gun, is right at the perimeter, right next to the border of your die cut, so that you get that border real close to, you know, on the fabric, so that your poof goes right through it. And it's just a nice, real clean, sharp edge where your glue is down there. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, see how close I'm right next to that glue, and I'm just going to puff it right, put it right together there, puffing the fabric right through it. Now see why I did it right close to the edge? See how it already poofs that pillow out? Then I'm going to come over here. We can add some glue right in here where I'm coming apart, not a big deal. I'm going to come right over here, same thing, ladies. I'm going to put the glue right in, right next to the seam of that die cut. Pushing it down, and when I push it down, it's going to make that poof right back out again. Okay, same thing, we're going to do all the way around. Glue right next to the die cut border. I am real shaky tonight, sorry about this, ladies. But you know what the gist is. And again, right over here, die cut. Right next to the die cut, putting our glue. Okay. And then we can go in and start kind of gluing the outer edges. You know, getting it all together. Now obviously you might be working with a bigger surface, bigger card, but it's all the same thing. All the same thing. Okay, straightening it all out. And look, there you go, ladies. We've got our poof. See it? Nice and poofy. And I didn't have to sew it. Or you don't have to sew it. I didn't have to sew it. And I've still got a nice poof. But the key is getting your glue right at that perimeter. So when you mush it down, it pinches it right there. And it'll make your pillow pop up. Okay, now, if you don't know exactly how much cotton you're going to be using, because you don't know how big your you know, your area is, you know, this is kind of easy to work with. But if you got like a great big and you're just not sure exactly where you're going to be centered, you know, exactly where your design's going to be, then by all means, ladies, what I did, you know, here, obviously I've got my cutout, and then I cut another piece out. Same thing. Okay, punch two pieces out. And then I did the same exact routine. I just laid it on this side, put the stuffing in, pushed it through, and then when you go to glue it down, you're still going to pop up. Doesn't matter if this side shows, that's your backing. That's going to be glued against something, okay? So that'll help you to, you know, in exactly where your placement is. If you're, you know, you're just kind of doing it somewhere in the middle of your card, you're not working with a small piece like this, obviously. Do two cutouts, and then you know exactly where to place your batting, and you know exactly where to put it together, and then you know where your poof comes out. Okay, ladies, so there's a couple of ideas for you working with the fabric cardstock pack. Fabric cardstock pack? That sounds funny. The fabric adhesive paper stack. Let's try that again. Again, just one more last look. Here's my card with the pleating, with the pillow design. I just love that fabric. And then, of course, we've got my outer wrap. We put the card inside. Got my outer wrap. And then, of course, you know, my ribbon and roses on top. So there it is, ladies. There's that quick card I wanted to show you using the fabric stack, and then to show you just a couple of little techniques with it. So, you know, if you have that stack, get it out and start working with it. It's kind of fun, real simple, real easy. And I'll see you next time, ladies. Thanks for sharing your time with me. Bye.